Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
No.
Hi, this is Billy Rude from FIFTY8 magazine, and thank you for watching The Art of Consciousness. These films are a curation of scientific insights with the study of the unseen, which is spiritual knowledge, in order to integrate with the mastery of will to create a unified individual in consciousness and energy. By understanding the eternal masculine, which is consciousness, and the eternal feminine, which is energy, we can create a perfect union of a world of warriors who are governed by love that transcends time, dimensions, and space. Consciousness and energy means a dream with power and intent. The majority of people are unconscious of this conflict, this duality, and this polarity, the conflict between oneself, which is but the result of the environment, and the environment itself. Very few are conscious of this continuous battle. Most people want an immediate relief, an immediate answer to their suffering. They want to protect themselves from this suffering, and therefore they find various means of escape, such as religions, thrills, stupidity, and the many avenues of escape and pleasure, which we have created through our desire to protect ourselves from this struggle. But suffering can only awaken the mind to great intensity. And when the mind is sharp, it begins to question the environment, the conditions, and in that questioning, consciousness is operating, and is only consciousness that will lead men and women to the fullness of life and to the discovery of the significance of sorrow. If you observe carefully, without prejudice, without labeling, judging, and not escaping it, and coming face to face with conflict, you will start to realize the purpose to your suffering. Suffering is the accumulation of ignorance. And in that severity of suffering, you stop searching for substitutes and really face the facts. You will see that mind, which is the totality of consciousness on the brain, begins to discover the true worth of environment, and then you will realize that mind is then free of conflict. You cannot solve the past environment until you are fully conscious in the present in mind, body, and soul. I love movies and have ever since I was little. The three films that influenced me the most were E.T., even though it terrified me, Psycho, and Fight Club. E.T. related to my paranormal and alien experiences as a child that I kept hidden. Psycho and Fight Club showed me the power of film in changing perception and the capability of the human mind. Ever since then, I've realized I have a deeper connection and message through them to my own purpose. That purpose is to create a change in consciousness and media, and to use this medium to empower. The uniqueness of these teachings will be presented in describing consciousness, the eternal masculine, and energy, the eternal feminine, presented in the concept of movies to help relate and comprehend these complex concepts. Every male character in the films I portray will represent the eternal masculine, which is consciousness, and every female character represents the eternal feminine, which is energy. These are visual representations of consciousness and energy in order to simplify. Now, why do we watch movies? What is the nature and purpose of films? We watch them to observe a stream of moving images that tell a story, to be emotionally moved, intellectually stimulated, and above all, to be entertained. The teachings of spiritual knowledge is the study of the unseen. The unseen that we experience every day, but rarely take the time to contemplate. The only way to know who you are is to look at the unseen. What we really are, we cannot see. Can you show me a thought, a mood, a personality, an idea? In our brain, consciousness and energy creates pictures, which are also called thoughts. These chemicals which we hear in our brains are thought forms. A sequence of these pictures and thoughts is called inspiration, because your thoughts, your moods, your personality are the cause of your reality, which is your movie that you are experiencing. Now, how could we say that is possible? And what can we identify to explain the phenomenon of our personal reality, our movie? I'll explain it to you because it is just like watching a movie. Have you ever asked yourself, what is the purpose and nature of having thoughts? Why do we have them? And what is the purpose to thought in relation to the nature of reality? The answer is very similar to the same question I asked before. Why do we love to watch movies? To become emotionally moved, intellectually stimulated, and to be entertained. So these pictures in our head, these thoughts, could they be there to entertain a part of us that is unseen? Just like a movie, could they be in our brain to present to an observer, a beholder, a Holy Spirit to look at? A subtle, powerful, and invisible energy that we all know is there? An innate being that truly cares about us no matter what we present to it? Could this divine director be sitting and watching the pictures that we presented to then create and manifest our own personal movie, our reality? And the answer for this is for you to make known. Our eyes are the lenses of the brain, with an aperture that opens and closes, and the sensor is in the back of the eye, and the images we see appear upside down. But who is the one receiving the image, and who is interpreting it? When the brain gets the projection of it on the screen, it matches that projection with all the available data it has in its memory. So what do you have playing and entertaining in there? The left and right hemispheres exchange information in order to come up with the match of what is being viewed on the back side of your retina. All of this inside you determines and allows you to understand all that is out there. The brain that we all have, can we begin to understand the utility and the capacity of it in order to merge ourselves with this divine spirit who is observing and creating our reality by the pictures and thoughts that we entertain? Can we let go the part that we've been playing and rehearsing for all too long and listen to the voice in creating a new and groundbreaking role? Can we let go the costumes, the silly masks and scripts that we repeat daily? Can we become conscious of our own personal thoughts and pictures with focus and intent to then change the reality, the movie that we are experiencing? Can we be less in the spotlight, in the theater of our dramatic performers, and evolve to become a new role of this divine director? Can we connect to this voice, the spirit inside of us that creates our movie and become one in mind, body, and soul? Can we contemplate and be more to ourselves than our sex, food, romance, being liked, and wake up to new potentials? Can we believe we can live without limitation, fear, lack, unhappiness, and the concept of time? Can we attain knowledge and use our will to build courage and strength to rise together to create a new vision of life upon the unlimited screen of a new landscape? This is the spiritual journey, the conquest of self. That is the pursuit of the spiritual, the unseen. The purpose of these films is much more than becoming aware of these internal pictures, but also to create action and actionable impressions that create materiality in the form of personal realities, our own personal movie, a new script to live by. And every one of us is creating our own personal scripts that we are living. The movie that you are experiencing is the effect of the internal movies you play for your spirit to entertain. Your environment are your scenes, and your manifestations are your props, and they are unique to you. It is the pictures that impress in our brain that is the message we entertain. This understanding is the purpose of spiritual teachings, and to create a stream of thoughts and pictures to inspire greatness and freedom. To understand the purpose of suffering is to build character, strength, courage, determination, fearlessness, and the potential of the will, the spirit, inside of you. These unseen creators of our reality, our movie, are the three aspects: the body, the soul, and the Holy Spirit existing in a physical, three-dimensional reality. This triad represents the mind of man, which designs thought forms, which are pictures, which pattern energy, creating the fluid of their reality, their matter to experience. The soul records what you have done, what you have completed, and what you haven't completed in the DNA of your being. The soul provides the agenda of what still needs to be resolved in our lives in order to continue our journey of evolution back to source. The brain's job is to fire the program from the soul. The brain is a supercomputer that processes all of the different levels and states of consciousness that is frequency specific to the mind. Your spirit is the one working in the tissue of the mind that creates your every object of focus. We are a projection of our Holy Spirit to experience matter, to discover who am I? This physical world is one out of 7 levels of expression in this school called Earth. The body that we experience, these 3 dimensions, is an infinite and duplicate map to the 7 different levels of existence, the 7 levels of consciousness. The only limitation that we experience is the ability to think and imagine intellectually a new reality against all odds of polarity by gaining knowledge of self and wisdom to overcome ourselves, our identity, our body, our victimization, our personality, our sexuality, and become greater than the decay of the body. Our true essence is not limited to this physical body, gender, or sexuality. We are unlimited beings who have forgotten the fallen gods. Now it is time to provoke you out of the slumber of victimhood and become aware of the true command of your intent and focus, so you may understand the power of your will and become a divine director of a new unlimited and everlasting blissful film. These teachings are about how to use your brain, your spiritual body, and develop these 7 levels of consciousness, these 7 seals of energy. The 7 understandings are those of reproduction and survival, fear and pain, power, felt love, expressed love, God seen in all life, and God I am. These films' intent is to invoke the power and the divinity within you. You are the projection of your divine self in a simulation called Earth, with a will to create, a soul to guide you, and a body to master. Before we can act fully and truly, we must know the prison and characters that we are living and playing, how it has been created, and examine it without any self-defense. Then you will find out for yourself its true significance, which no other can convey to you. Through your own awakening of intelligence, your consciousness, and through your own suffering, you will discover your purpose of true fulfillment. If we do not awaken to our full responsibility, to our fulfillment, then our function as a human being in society will only be frustration, limitation, and sorrow. You are responsible for the circumstances in your life, your movie, and you played that part beautifully. You created your body, your health, your metabolism, your brain that created your environment, the home, the costumes, and the mask. You directed your cast and crew and people, locations, scenes, and times of day. The budget of your film and the lack of budget, what do you think reality is the platform to create your real. We all need something to believe in when we've lost the belief in ourselves. Become the beholder, the divine director of your movie, your real, and look in awe of what you have created without the labels of good or bad. Just what is. For how can anything be awe-inspiring if it is constantly being judged and ridiculed? We are all creative geniuses with the divine intelligence, your spirit that is beyond space and time. These films are here to remind you that you have the capacity to do it all because you are capacity. It is time to evolve and connect to our divine architect and direct a new real world. This is the art of consciousness.